You know, if this had been a couple of years ago, maybe a different time, Andrew would have been toast. Andrew would have been, well, dispatched, dealt with. Prince Andrew, that is. At the mere suggestion, the mere hint that he might, by virtue of his ignominy, his shame, his embarrassment after having been stripped of his titles, there was a very good chance in the old days that he would have been, well, made to have gone bye-bye. Dirt nap time. And if you think that's out of the course of ordinary business, you don't know how these people think. What the royals have thought throughout history, and what MI6 is capable of, and what everyone there is capable of. This is a very, very serious group of folks. Many have suggested there might even have been some type of connection with that, with the end of Diana. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to wax, as people use the term incorrectly, conspiratorial. But we're talking about something which is beyond the realm of anything anybody could ever imagine. We're talking about somebody who was the prince and the queen's favorite, who was stripped of his titles. That's decommissioned. He is a commoner. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. I mean, he's just like anybody else. Now, granted, he'll be helped by a stipend of sorts from his brother, the king. But it's inconceivable. Take Nixon's shame. Take Nixon's embarrassment and multiply that multifold to even come near this. And the other problem is going to be his wife, Fergie. Is she going to keep her mouth shut? And could she perhaps suffer a similar fate in the event somebody were to find this particular subject matter problematic? See, what they're doing right now is he's doing something because for whatever, this latest book on Virginia Giuffre has just turned up the volume. And because the volume has been turned up and the attention redirected, they're finding themselves in the position right now of something very, very interesting. They're finding themselves in the position of trying to, and this is important, trying to do something to deflect, distract, redirect attention accordingly. This is something which is really, really important. This is something which is really, really critical. This is something which has to be explained. Is it going to work? I don't know. The people who were involved in the Epstein case, for the most part, many of the women, some of them are 40 years old or older. This happened a long time ago. Many of them don't want to be dredged up, refiltered, recommissioned. They don't want to be put in this position again. They don't want to be put in the position of, dear God, having to deal with this horror. But what they do want is for somebody to recognize what they're doing and what they've been through. And they're not going to be, there's too many people, certain prime ministers. Come on, we know who these people are. At least we know who they're referring to. Whether it's true or not is another story. My dear friend, this is bigger than anything anybody could imagine. And if you think that something is just going to happen, somebody's going to come out of the blue, somebody's going to come out of nowhere, and they're going to somehow do what? They're going to correct this, bring charges. We don't find charges. We're not going to find out who was responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We're going to find out, never going to find out who was responsible for the attempted assassination of President Trump. It's always going to be like that, no matter what happens. I want to take one brief interruption right now. I want to remind you of one thing. We have two sponsors that I want you to be aware of. The first is MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. This is Mike Lindell. You know, you've seen them. They're terrific. Please go and check for yourself. MyPillow.com /promo code Lionel. Solidus Virgule /Lionel. And the other is preparewithlionel.com. This is the premier, and I'm saying this premier emergency food supply house, store, concern. They are simply the best. If you think that there's nothing to worry about, if you think that everything's going to be great, if you think that there's going to be no need whatsoever for emergency food, my friend, I don't know what to tell you. So preparewithlionel.com and our good friends at mypillow.com/Lionel. Now, my friend, when you get the chance, if at all possible, I want you to think of something. I want to ask you a very simple question. Do you understand the role of the royal family? This is as big as it gets in the world of the globalist. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. This is where globalism starts. They are the most important, the most powerful family on the planet today. Not Saudi Arabia, not the House of Saud, not MBS. No. These folks, they may not look it. They look kind of goofy. They may look kind of like, well, whatever. But they're not. Do not think for a moment that they are anything but serious contenders, not to be taken lightly, not to be dismissed, not to be disregarded. You know, there's no way also to tell Andrew how crazy he is. As I said before in the Sean Atwood show recently, I said one of the things that Andrew could do, which might behoove him and might inure to his benefit, is to somehow say that one of the reasons why his behavior has been opprobrious, in fact, you can't necessarily point to it too much because there might be some charges that are pending. But he has been, and they have seen, he has been a part of a world where he himself was abused. He himself was, let's say, violated by a number of people. And in recent other books, it found out that he was either introduced to sexual matters as a too young of a child, just a host of reasons. He might be able to say, believe it or not, that one of the reasons why he does this, and one of the reasons why he has sympathy for people sometimes in the entertainment business or young people, is that whenever you try to accelerate youth, whenever you have unscrupulous people running the personal lives of children, they hurt and harm them forever and permanently. And this is something that people will never, ever forget. And it's absolutely correct on his part. So remember, that notwithstanding, if Andrew does not keep quiet, I would suggest he stay away from any kind of hunting tournaments, any kind of hunting endeavors, because in the old days, taking them fishing was where sometimes people were lost, they slipped, they fell off a boat, or they just never came back and nobody knew of their trek in the first place. Either way, I trust Andrew knows how serious this is, because if he doesn't, they will make sure he does. Thank you so much for watching. Pay attention. Do you think he should worry? Do you think they would be so brazen as to maybe take him out? I say absolutely. Why? Because we've just proved nobody does anything. Nobody investigates it. Thanks for watching, my friend. Have a great and glorious day. And please, please, I beg, beseech, entreat, and importune you to comment as you see fit.